Hello everyone, this is PRANSHI VERMA. Welcome to World of Python Programming. In this lecture, we will discuss the topic naming convention for variables and variables in Python. So without any further delay, let us get started. Python variables. What exactly Python variables are? Variables is a name that is used to refer to memory locations. In Python, variable is also known as an identifier and used to hold values. In Python, we don't need to specify the type of variable because Python is a infer language and smart enough to get variable type. Let us see in this lecture. Variable names can be a group of both the letters and digits, but they have to begin with a letter or an underscore, not to be any integer's value. Okay, and it's recommended to use lowercase letters for the variable name, for example, A, B, and C, so on. Okay, in the Python eyes, Rahul and Rahul, they both are two different variables. Next topic is identifier naming and naming convention in Python. Variables are the examples of identifiers as you know very well. And what is identifier? Identifier is used to identify the literals used in the program. And the rules to name an identifier are given below. And don't worry, they all are very simple. First rule is the first character of the variable must be an alphabet or underscore, not to be an integer data type. For example, 1, 2, 3, they are not allowed. Second rule is all the character except the first character may be an alphabet or lowercase. It's included only A to Z in lowercase and uppercase A to Z also and underscore or digit 0 to 9 except first character. Next rule, identifier names must not contain any white space or a special character like exclamatory mark, at the rate sign, hashtag, percent sign, exponential sign, and asterisk, etc. Next rule, identifier name must not be similar to any keywords defined in the language. We will discuss later in this course. Next rule, identifier names are case sensitive. For example, my name and my name is not the same in Python's eyes. A simple example of valid identifiers like start with lowercase a than 1 to 3 and second one is start with underscore n, next n underscore 9, etc. They all are valid identifiers in Python. Next, some examples of invalid identifiers. Here 1a and this start with integer type. It means it's invalid identifier. Okay. Next one n%4. Here a special character percent sign is included. That's why it's invalid. Next n white space 9 is also invalid because it contains a white space. Okay. So this is all about identifier naming. Now question arises how to declare a variable and assign a value to it. Okay, so declaring a variable is very simple task. Python doesn't bind us to declare a variable before using it in the applications. It allows us to create a variable at the required time. We don't need to declare explicitly variable in Python. When we assign any value to the variable is declared automatically. With the help of equal operator, you can assign value to a variable. Okay, let's jump to the Jupyter notebook and take an example. In this way, we can declare any value to a variable. For example, a small a, this is a lowercase variable name, is equal to 3, b is equal to Python, c is equal to 5.7. Okay, now the important term object references in Python. What is object references? In Python language, It's necessary to understand how the Python interpreter works when we declare a variable. The process of treating variables is somewhat different from many other programming languages. But Python is the highly object-oriented programming language. That's why every data item belongs to a specific type of class. Let's take an example in Jupyter Notebook. Here we have created a string object, Sneha. Okay, let's run the code. In this, the Python object creates an string object and display it on the console. Okay, now let's check the type of it with the help of built-in function type function. Okay, let's do it. Let's run the code str string. In Python language, variables are a symbolic names. That is a reference or pointer to an object. The variables are used to denote objects by that name. Okay. Next important term is object identity. In Python, every created object identifies uniquely in Python language. Python provides the guarantee that no two objects will have the same identifier. With the help of built-in ID functions, you can identify the object identifier. Let's take an example in Jupyter Notebook and understand it. In this code, we assign a value 60 to a variable a, then we assign v is equal to a. Then print function with the help of id function. This is inbuilt function in Python. Id of a, then print id of b. We have reassigned variable a is equal to 500 and then print id of a. Let's run the code. Here, firstly print id of a. That is this. Next print id of b. This is this. They both are same because in this we assigned the v is equal to a and b both point to the same object. But next we have reassigned variable a is equal to 500. Okay, and the id will be changed because print id of a after reassigned the variables will be changed and it refers to as the new object identifier. Okay, so this is all about object identifier in Python. Next important concept is variable names. We have already discussed how to declare the valid variable and what are invalid variables. Variable's name can be any length, can have uppercase, lowercase. Uppercase is capital A to Z letters, lowercase is small a to Z letters. And the digits means 0 to 9, any digit, and with the help of underscore character, this one. Now let's jump to the Jupyter Notebook and consider an example of valid variables names. Let's run the code with the help of run button. It's give print name and print age and print marks, and they all are in individual line. Okay, now let's take another example. In this example, we have declared a few valid variables names such as name in lowercase, name in uppercase, and n underscore a underscore m underscore e and other names in different way. But look at here, they all are not recommended because when we try to read code, it may create confusion, lots of confusion, because the variable name should be descriptive to make code more readable. So overcome this problem. We use multi-word keywords. The multi-word keywords can be created by the following method, like camel case, Pascal case, and snake case. Okay, so what is camel case? In this camel case, each word or abbreviation in the middle of begins with a capital letter. There is no interventions of white space. For example, name of student, value of variable. In this, middle of begins like this. Here, this S is in uppercase. Here, this B is in uppercase. Okay, these are the examples of camel case. Next one, Pascal case. What is Pascal case? It's the same as the camel case letters, but here the first word is also capital. For example, name of a student. Okay, in this first word that is N in uppercase. Next, middle word O. This is also in uppercase. And next, S is also in uppercase. It means this is in a Pascal case. Okay. Next one is snake case. In the snake case, words are separated by the underscore. For example, name underscore of underscore student. Okay. So this is all about multi-word keywords in Python. Camel case, Pascal case and snake case. Next important concept is multiple assignment in Python. Python allows us to assign a value to multiple variables in a single statement, which is also known as multiple assignment, and it's a very important concept in Python. We can apply multiple assignments in two ways, either by assigning a single value to multiple variables or assigning multiple values to multiple variables. Let's take an example in Jupyter Notebook. In this code, we are assigning single value 90 to multiple variables like x, y and z. Then print x, print y, print z separately. Let's run the code. Let's see. Assigning single value to multiple variables, and we are assigning single value 90 to multiple variables like x, y and z. Then print x, print y, print z separately. Let's run the code. Let's see. Assigning single value to multiple variables and print output individually. Okay. Let's see in another example. In this, we are assigning multiple values to multiple variables like a, b, c is equal to 5, 10, 15. In this, then print a, print b, print c separately. Now, important thing in this example, the value of a is 5, value of b is 10, c is 15. Means they all are appear in the sequence respectively. Okay, let's run the code. See the output. Print the value of a, that is 5. Print value of b is 10 and print c, that is 15. Okay, so it's all about variables in Python and other important concepts in Python. I hope you enjoyed the lecture. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching and make sure to subscribe to my channel for more updates. Thank you.